Good. I've been here before. No, I'm in denial. Hey, welcome, welcome. Come join us. We're so happy you're here. Okay. Well, to our everyone, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So we'd like to share our diversity statement. Let's say this together. Unity of Richmond is a safe and welcoming spiritual home that stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion for all people, including socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, and belief. Woo! Can we get an amen? All right. And sorry, friends, come as you are. We love you. Through all seasons of life. Sun that is always shining, even when obscured by clouds. Joy is there in my happiest moments and also during my darkest times. It keeps me present to life and having the courage to change what I can. A way to feel the presence of God and live from my spirituality. Joy is the anchor that keeps me rooted. Appreciate that image. Carry it with me wherever I go and in everything I do. From Psalm 16:11, you show me the path of life. In your presence, there times. Joy is mine through of life. Yeah.
The night
has come, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. Don't be afraid, I will stand by me, stand by me. Here we go. If the sky that we look upon should crumble to the, I won't cry, no. And then stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, by me. Woo! Thank you all for being steady anchors for one. Okay. To be with one another in beautiful love and receive and give love. And so it is. Metro Richmond prayer. Together, let's say this. We pray for the coming of God's realm in metropolitan Richmond, for a spirit of unity and cooperation among all people. All right. We know we had classes by our resident Mike Shelton. That's going to be starting this coming Wednesday and on Wednesdays from the 7th through the 28th from 7 to 9 here, love offering. So let's come support one another in that endeavor. Doing a musical message through some gospels and spirituals in music. It's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it. And so please be, so the joy of being with one another and growing and evolving and all that fun stuff. So thank you in advance, Katrina, for sharing your gifts with us during this month, but every month in particular. All right. Hey, $45 for 3 weeks series, $15 just shabby from your own home. Search to get information on that. From your own home. Search to get information on that. Sunday, the folks first board candidate. All right. So that's going to be super fun to hear from our candidates to run this amazing spiritual community.
Your definition to truly make it real. Tried so hard, oh, love is you. Is it possible that there's a love that's so divine? I know I'm not a fool. It's not all chemical. I feel this way. 'Cause love's my permission to be who I am. No inhibitions 'cause you understand. Freedom to breathe, oh, love is you. Love's like a kiss when the sun goes down. Holds me tight when no one's around. Love's what I wanna hold on to. Is you. Love 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 is kind, it makes me stronger. I don't have to look no longer. Love is what I cling to. Love is you. When the chips are down, love will stick around. Oh, I'm so glad I found. As much as I try to simplify, love's quite simple, no need to try. Love is you. Love is you. Love is you.
Thank you, Katrina. Such a beautiful reminder. Love is you. Love is me. Love are those babies downstairs learning about who they are. Today we're going to learn about Ida B. Wells by Dr. Edie Bouldin, the incomparable. Let me invite you up. Yes, she's going to be delivering our message today. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Here you go.
Thank you, Heather. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today, so I thought it was Barnett. She's somebody a lot of people didn't know about. And so I thought it would be good to share during this Black History Month. Sometimes Ida was called the mother of the civil rights movement. She, let me give you some facts about her. She was an early feminist, and sometimes they called her a crusader for justice. And over 100 years ago, she began a campaign against lynching in the South, and it prompted the passage of several. She was a journalist. This was way before her time. Yeah, was something paper and journalist and an activist, and worked for anti-lynching and to work in politics. And sadly, she was her work went pretty much unnoticed, and it was in 2020 when she finally received a Pulitzer. I wanted to share a few things that Ida did. Was when she discovered that the YMCA excluded Black men, she organized the Negro Fellowship League, and they provided lodging, employment, and assistance in social activities. She also worked to end the situation. She was one of the 60 founders of the NAACP, the National Association of Colored Women. She was a founder of that, and the Alpha Suffrage Club. She did so much, and I was just surprised growing up. You don't really hear about Ida B. Wells, and I just think some of the women of that time, we just weren't told about these strong, powerful women. And one of the main things that she was known for is the fight against anti-lynching. And she spoke out, and for her to say that and not anything happened to her was amazing. She stuck way before our time. And we passed the anti-lynching legislation, but do you know over 200 2020 no, the anti-lynching law was just to think 200 times it was struck down. And so now we have the Emmett Till offense, aggravated sexual abuse. We read that this law, aggravated sexual abuse. We read that this law, she did so many things.
In 1884, Ida B. Wells, a young teacher from Memphis, was quietly.
I refuse, saying tried to drag me out of my. Ida B. Wells.
And she gets off the. She will sue the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway to say that indeed she was.
But the victory was short-lived.
Believed all along that the law. Is there no redress, no peace? Bitterly disgusting.
And at night,
the hero of today.
On the night of March 9th, defending themselves, vigilantes drag more. Is no justice here. Disheartened Wells.
Quite what to do. But when she read those words, she said, this is going to be her mission as well. And she begins to tell Black Memphians, there is killers of our...
Who the true targets of the lynch mob were.
When her 3 friends were lynched, she began to realize that even Black people, middle-class Black people, could be victims of that. And she talks about how until that happened, she had believed that those excesses, what she called excesses against the race, were only directed against those people who had perhaps done something to deserve it.
This opened my eyes to what lynching really was. An excuse to get rid of Negroes who were acquiring wealth and property, and thus keep the race terrorized and keep the niggers down.
Ida Wells is one voice that says that that these assumptions of Black people, that the only way we're going to do it is...
There she began her crusade against the murder of Southern Blacks, which she would continue for the rest of her life.
Yeah, as shown in the movie, she wasn't killed against other Black leaders during that time. She worked with Frederick Douglass and people like, but she disagreed with him. She had a big disagreement with women's vote. In Chicago, they had a big rally for women's rights. So when they got there, the Black women got there, the white women said, we're not going to march with them. And Ida was like, She fought, and they ended up marching together. So just to think about a woman during this time, how strong she was. And the things she said were just unprecedented for that time. I have a few quotes of things that she said, like one of them is, our country's natural crime is lynching. It is not the creature of an hour, the sudden outburst of uncontrolled fury, or the unspeakable brutality of a dog or a rat in a trap. Somebody must show that Afro-American race is more sinned against than sinning. And it seems to have followed upon me to do. She didn't preach against violence, but she also preached during that time that she thought that African-American Black people should have weapons and teaches in Black home. It should be used for that. Knows he runs a great risk for Afro-American life. He is insulted, outraged, and lynched. So you can imagine for her to speak out during this time, and she still didn't, nobody assassinated her. Really courageous for a woman of that time. She spoke about, when she talked about lynching, she brought out the fact that white women and to find a Negro prisoner guilty if there's the least evidence to warrant such a finding. So as you could see that she was very, very courageous, and she had a newspaper in Memphis, and they burnt her newspaper, worked constantly with speaking out. Traveled around the country. Luckily, she said then the Emancipation Proclamation. Her parents ended up dying from one of those diseases, and that's when she became a school. I just got so overwhelmed. It's just amazing. She was a strong woman. A little bit about her. There's so much. A lot of women, like this came out like 2020, Octavia Butler, the civil rights fighters. Thank you.
Thank you. No, she's here. It continues. And what really struck me, I took some notes while during the message. And what is mine to do? What is mine to do? And so you talked about she took the mantle, she spoke out, she turned the light. And so that's the same today. What is ours to do? And so I just want to take this opportunity during meditation. So let's just kind of take a deep dive. Let's ask ourselves, what is mine to do? Because opportunity to shift consciousness still here. All those beautiful people who were so strong and brave and so courageous during some really, really scary and risky times. Thank you. Thank you for planting the seeds. Thank you. Allow us to take up time to do. So for the next few minutes, allow ourselves to contemplate that question. Integrate the message received and bravery, then you are the chosen one, shedding light on the wrongs. Again, to Ida, proudly take up the mantle. About you, but I'm feeling a little. Thank you for inviting all beings. The prosperity blessing together. Divine love expressing through me blesses and all that I receive.
I'm the same, black or white, red or tan. It's the heart of the family of man. Whoa, beating away. Whoa, beating away. Whoa, we're beating away. Listen, all the world around, everywhere around the world, and it's the heart of the family of man. Ooh, la 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 la. Listen, can you hear the sound of singing all the world around? Walking through a jungle or on a busy city street, everywhere around the world, singing always sounds so sweet. Black or white, red or tan, it's the heart of the family of man. Whoa, beating away. Whoa, laughing away. Whoa, we're so laughing away. Whoa, we're dancing away. Whoa, whoa, we're laughing away. Whoa, dancing away. Whoa.
I know. Okay. First of all, we give thanks for the gifts that will support our mission of creating a spiritually awakened world. Thank you. All right. I want to call two folks up here. Don't make me come down there. These lovely folks completed another year. A little happy birthday tune. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. And choosing to hang out with us. I would also, in advance, want to thank the prayer chaplains. We'll be able to serve for you. Thank you to our beauty bless. I mean, the music is just, oh man, just lifts us each time. Edie, thank you again for saying yes. To Debbie and to Penelope, just put together. And to Tasha and Rick in the back, thank you. And to our lovely children's crew, thank you for hanging out with our. And thank you to everyone who. And declare the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. Wherever.
Let me, let us walk. Let this be my joyous vow to take each moment. Let it with me.